everybody. It's time for Tech Ambassadors. Well, you all are doing well today. My name is Jordan Jankus. I'm with the ARC Westchester. That's my contact information on the screen. I would love to hear from you with any ideas that you might have about areas that you would like us to focus on, or if you have any tips to share with us, wouldn't that be great? The Tech Ambassadors has its own little web page where we archive the recorded broadcasts, and I just updated the page for a couple of prior webinars, and now we have the one from April 23rd, how to use soap operas, getting beyond ADL with your day programs. And April 30th, we went over a mood tracking app called Dailyo. These are both archived on our website under Tech Ambassadors. Take a look at them. I hope there's information for you that you find helpful. So on to today's topic. This is a free app that comes from a company called Lingraphica, and it deals with folks with aphasia. The website for Lingraphica, if you just type in aphasia.com, you go right to it. And they have a series of SmallTalk apps. This is one called Daily Activities. It's for people that don't have an ability to express themselves through spoken language, but they have receptive understanding of words. And I know just in my work at the ARC Westchester and visiting other programs, you come across those folks that don't have any means of communication except for somebody that has worked for them for a long time. They might have had a AAC device when they were in school, or they might have abandoned it during the adult world, whatever. They don't have any communication ability other than gestures or a caregiver that really understands them. So this is a very simple, and I emphasize the word free because we love free, app that you can get. It works on iOS-based programs. You can try somebody out on simple things, activities of daily living, all those things about taking care of yourself, combing your hair, saying you're hungry, saying what you want to eat, all those basic things. You can use this app and try it out with someone that hasn't been expected to have speech in the past, and let them look at some of the pictures and see if they can start communicating on their own. I love speech and language professionals, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them. In fact, this is an app that if you use it and you have some positive results, call out the SLPs, have them come in and do a full-blown evaluation. This is meant to just be a trial to see if somebody could benefit from using picture-based communication. So here's part of the daily activities list. When you're having a conversation with someone, they could tell you, hey, I'm having trouble speaking, but give me some time to speak. And the voice can be either a male voice or a female voice. You can set that in the settings. Yes or no questions. Do you want a drink of water? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Are you happy? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. And if you're talking to somebody and they're looking confused, they can just hit the button and say, please speak slowly, please. I'll show you some other screens that are related to the ADL SmallTalk app. I understand, I don't understand, I'm hungry. And the one thing that I really like about this is the pictures are pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes on AAC devices, I've seen pictographs used that are very, very removed from what it looks like in reality. So you wonder what kind of connection there is for an adult to look at a picture and connect it as that action. Here, there's a guy that's fallen, he's reaching up, and he says, help me, please. So this can all run on a tablet. If you find out that these things are helpful if somebody says, what's for breakfast, what for lunch, what's for lunch, what's for dinner in your residence or in your day program. Hey, isn't that a great start? It means that they could use more sophisticated devices. Of course, these are free from Lingraphica as a way to get you to come in and try their AAC products. But I tell you, there's a lot of great free stuff here that at least will start the conversation. I think the most frustrating thing is to walk into any program and just be handed a AAC device and somebody says to you, we don't know what to do with this. Okay, this is an early stage way to evaluate whether somebody is good with an AAC or could use training on an AAC device. It's not supposed to be a replacement for a full-blown AAC device, but just an indicator. Let's go in this direction. There's a lot of pictures, a lot of phrases in this app, and it can be kind of overwhelming because you access the phrases by scrolling down on the screen. So when you're starting on it, you might want to edit some of the pictures and just delete them until the person gets a basic competency. If you just have one phrase, like have the individual say, what's for lunch? That's great. And then you can just, after you've deleted them all, and he's accomplished that phrase, then you could press the reset button. It brings you back to the original vocabulary list and phrase list, and you could then further edit it down to maybe a couple of phrases. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm cold, I need to go to the bathroom, whatever the phrase is. And you can build it over time. If you get success with the program, it's a clear indication that this could be a way for this person to more independently communicate. It's a great trial. Again, not a replacement, but a guide to a future destination. If you go on the aphasia.com site, they have all kinds of free stuff just besides the apps. Here's a great little guide on 12 tips for successful communication with a person that has aphasia. And their orientation, it's interesting, the company's orientation is very much on people that had strokes and developed aphasia later in life. But it also has great application to people with autism, folks with cerebral palsy. You could use it in so many different settings. If you just look at some of the examples here, print this out and put it up on your wall. You want to make sure that you use short, simple sentences when you're talking with somebody that has limited communication. Amplify the question with body language. Write down keywords on topics so that you both can agree what you're talking about. Do you want to go to the mall tomorrow? And mall is the subject that you're talking about, and you could have pictures of stores, and they could say yes, no. You don't want a lot of distractions going on when you're doing this. If 20 people are talking at the same time, this is not the best thing to be doing with an individual. And when you're communicating, a fraction of what we communicate is through words. There are so many body gestures and stuff. Lots of times the problem is that we don't know what they mean. Somebody that lives with somebody understands what the gesture means, but other people will say, what the heck is he trying to say? So make it simple. Ask yes or no questions. One question at a time. Don't go crazy asking a lot of questions that require other responses. Ask a question that has a choice in it. Give the person, I think this is the hardest part of this whole interchange, this whole conversation, is being quiet and let somebody communicate through the device, through the tablet, through their gestures, through their eye movement. Let them respond. Too often I think we rat-a-tat-tat out with these questions, and a person can get very overwhelmed, and they get to a point where they don't know what they're supposed to answer. So I would encourage you to download this little 12 tips, but also go on their site And they have other free SmallTalk apps that you can try out, conversational apps. There's also one for people that can indicate their pain level via these picture words. There's also one for somebody that goes into intensive care, into a hospital situation, and they're dealing with that whole thing, and they can explain how they're feeling, what hurts them, what doesn't hurt them. Then there's other free apps that also give you conversational tips and more details of the whole speech process, how a person uses their mouth and tongue to actually produce speech. But we don't have to go too deep in the weeds here. I think if you can find somebody somewhere that hasn't had the chance to express themselves because who knows why, something happened along their life to the adult world, this is a great way to start the conversation, literally start a conversation, and see, can we get an evaluation for this person? Perhaps we can get them either an iPad with a speech program on it, or we can get them a dedicated AAC device. No one should be in silence all their lives. That's not what we're about. We always say person-centered. Well, let's that person express themselves. That's my sermon for today. I always get into this fever pitch of passion about making people understood. I'll do another webinar next week on Tuesday the 21st. I hope you'll join us. Be well. I'll see you guys soon.